My wife loves the theater. She was in theater all throughout high school. One of her favorite plays that has been adapted for the movie screen is Les Miserables. In Les Miserables, the main character, Jean Valjean, is a bitter ex-convict hardened by injustice. Yet everything changes when a bishop shows him unexpected mercy, offering him silver instead of punishment. That single act of grace transforms Valjean's entire life. He becomes a man of compassion, sacrifice, and deep character. Grace redefined his story. In Genesis 49, we see a similar redemption arc, but in the real-life story of Judah, Judah was far from blameless. He suggested selling his brother Joseph into slavery. He abandoned responsibility in his family and committed personal moral failure with Tamar, his daughter-in-law. If anyone seemed disqualified from blessing, it was him. But something happened in Judah's story. He began to change. When famine struck and the brothers had to return to Egypt, it was Judah who offered to take Benjamin's place as a slave, as mentioned in Genesis 44. That wasn't the same man who had sold Joseph years earlier. It was a man shaped by regret, humility, and responsibility. When Jacob blesses his sons in Genesis 49, he doesn't give the royal promise to the oldest son, Reuben, or even to the most talented. Instead, he speaks the promise of kingship and legacy over Judah. The scepter will not depart from Judah, as mentioned in the scripture. Judah becomes the ancestor of King David. And more importantly, he becomes the ancestor of Jesus Christ, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. God chose the one who had failed, but had changed. God doesn't define us by our worst moments. He redeems us through his grace. Like Jean Valjean and like Judah, we all have chapters we would rather erase. I have a past that it would be great to never even talk about. But God isn't in the business of erasing. He's in the business of rewriting. He uses flawed, humble people to carry out his greatest plans. When we surrender to his grace, he doesn't just forgive our past. He gives us a new future. A question I want you to think of is, where in your life do you feel unworthy of God's blessing? What would it look like to truly receive his grace, not just for forgiveness, but for purpose as well? God doesn't wait for perfect people to fulfill his perfect plans. He works through the broken, the repentant, and the redeemed. People like Judah, like Jean Valjean, and like you. Your past may explain where you've been, but it doesn't define where you are going. In the hands of God, failure can become the birthplace of legacy. Let grace write that next chapter.